right. Quiet down, everyone. This is a government institution. We expect a certain level of decorum. All right. Well, now that you've settled down, welcome everyone to the Environmental Assessment Office. You will not dishonor His Majesty's government in this house. We are here today, as you all know, to discuss the very important matter. What are we here to discuss again today?
We're here to legitimize colonial resource extraction, like we do every day.
You're not supposed to say that out loud.
We're not supposed to say that out loud. Wait, sorry, what are we supposed to call it?
Try economic reconciliation or environmental stewardship.
Oh yes, that does ring some sort of bell. Okay, let's go with that. Economic reconciliation. We'll go with that one.
Okay, well, sure. Legitimizing economic reconciliation is what we do here every day. But which of our various colonial mega projects specifically are we here to discuss today?
David Thames, CEO of Western LNG, and today we're here to discuss my application to build the PRGT, that's the Prince Rupert Gas Terminal.
Wait, I'm getting deja vu. Didn't we already talk about this project like 5 or 10 years ago?
Well, yes, sir. We approved it back in 2014, but Indigenous land defenders defeated the Leilu Island terminal. And then we extended the approval in 2019, even though there was technically no terminal for the gas to go through.
Ah, yes, I remember now. The pipeline to nowhere.
Okay, terminal schmerminal. Okay, well, I'm new to this nature environmental stuff, but here's an idea. What if we just dump the gas into the Pacific Ocean, and someone would probably come along and pick it up. With government-approved safety plans, of course, only to the highest standards.
Well, of course. But seriously, if there is no terminal, what are we all doing here today?
Glad you asked. Thanks to centuries of dispossession, colonization, residential schools, resource extraction, all that stuff, Indigenous nations are desperately impoverished and in need of cash. So we offered up a quite small share of the profits to obtain consent for the project. And now we're proud to say that we've obtained the consent from the Niska government, and so we're going to build a new terminal near the mouth of the Nass River and finally get this pipeline built.
Oh, that's spectacular.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you. You're too kind. We couldn't have done it without you.
Well, thank you. So what can we do for you today?
Well, the thing is, you see, our permits expire in a couple of days. Unless, of course, you declare that the pipeline is substantially started, in which case we can keep using the same old permits from 2014.
Well, if you've already spent the money, you've built the thing, we couldn't just expect you to stop for things like, the environment or reconciliation.
Exactly. So, if you wouldn't mind declaring the project substantially started.
Wait, just make sure I have the details straight here. You'd like to use the same permits from 2014, even though you have a new terminal?
Yes, please.
And even though there's a new pipeline route.
Pretty please?
Don't you worry, my good man. Don't you worry. That's what we're here for.
Yes, that is literally what we're here for. But if we're going to effectively manufacture consent for this project, shouldn't we do a new environmental review? Just for show, of course.
Well, you see, there's been a new Environmental Assessment Act, and That's since the pipeline was originally approved, and we're not totally convinced that the project would pass.
Well, that is a problem.
Yes, and that's why we've been rushing to build as much as possible in the last 3 months, getting this substantial start so that we can keep the 10-year-old permits, and that's our only chance.
I see. Well, where are things at in regards to construction?
Why don't we hear from our chief engineer over Zoom?
Chief Engineer, thank you so much for joining us.
It seems like you're muted.
Yes, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now? Is it working now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry, technical stuff isn't really my strong suit. So, as you know, we began construction on August 24th, and I am so proud to say we have cut down several trees along the proposed route.
Wow, that is very impressive. And how much of the pipeline has been laid?
Well, none of it.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I mean, surely some of the boys in the back rooms could pull some strings.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, sir, the terminal hasn't technically been approved yet, so there's no construction there.
Oh, I see. So, just to be clear, the pipeline still doesn't, what's the technical term? Go anywhere.
Well, no, not yet.
I see. Oh, but you have cleared the right-of-way.
Small parts of the right-of-way, yes.
Oh, well, I suppose that sounds substantial. Thank you for joining us. That will be all.
Waste of time. They always approve these things anyway.
Sir, you've forgotten to leave the meeting. Sir, leave the meeting.
I was paying attention. So yes, the you're clearing away the rights of the natives.
That's right of way.
Oh,
The
yeah.
path of the pipeline, it's called the right of way, you might recall.
I knew that. Yep.
Yes, in fact, with the support of the Nizhka government, this particular project enjoys full Indigenous support. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes, sir, that's exactly right. Almost. You see, the pipeline also crosses Gitsin and Gitinyao territories, and there is already a very tiny, small, insignificant blockade set up by Gitinyao hereditary chiefs, I believe, and a number of Gitsan, especially youth, small number of youth, are also opposing the project.
There's also growing opposition within the Niska Nation.
Okay, look, I really don't want to hear about these externalities. I mean, come on. We can't let Indigenous people get in the way of this critical economic reconciliation.
Exactly. Besides, we have very effective ways of dealing with anyone who tries to stop us. Oh, Serg.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you, boys. Wow, those fellows can lay a pipe through my territories any day. And, I'm just especially glad that those boys are there in case I felt like dealing with the CEO.
That is not funny. Killing CEOs is not funny.
Okay, sure. Whatever. Anyway, okay, I'm done with hearing about these blockades, Indigenous tax resistance. I mean, come on, the nations that are on board with us are sovereign. And as for the rest, I mean, that's what these guys are for.
Yes, sir.
To interject, I'd like to say that CERG has been renamed Crew BC. That's the Critical Response Unit.
Okay, whatever. Arose by any other name. Gosh, I just love when government's in bed with industry.
You're telling me, and not just any company either. I mean, TC Energy is a very experienced company with a long and successful track record of building this sort of politically sensitive, technically complex project.
Yes.
To interject again, TC Energy nearly went bankrupt from the last pipeline. They tried to push through unceded territories, so it was sold to the Western LNG and the Niska Nation.
Okay, look, I can't possibly be expected to keep track of these sorts of details. I'm sure that Western LNG has an equally long and illustrious track record.
Yes. Yeah. This will be our first project.
Surely you mean your first project of this sort.
Our first project ever.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you and your company have a perfect environmental track record.
Exactly. Never had a single spill.
Well, that is very impressive. Lost. Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. I am unfortunately running about 45 minutes late for my
tried to tell ya.
mandatory diversity, equity, and inclusion workshop. We are really going to have to move this along. Can somebody please summarize the salient details?
I've got it. We've got a 10-year-old pipeline with a new terminal and a new route. Western LNG wants to use a 10-year-old permit because it knows it would never pass modern environmental assessment standards. The whole project would dramatically worsen the climate crisis, and it faces active resistance from several Indigenous nations. In other words, it's standard resource colonial project as we slide ever deeper into the climate catastrophe.
If I could just file some additional paperwork.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Okay. Yep. It looks like these papers are in order.
Very good.
Wait a minute! The Gitsan and Gitnyao are sovereign nations! You don't have the authority to approve pipelines through unceded land!
Oh my
You
gosh.
colonial officials are all in the pockets of big business. This whole hearing is just a colonial farm.
They're on to us!
Get 'em, boys!
Get out of here! Sir! We would have gotten away with it too if not for you meddling activists!